Between 150 and 200 people turned out at Pueblo East High School for a town hall hosted by Pueblo City Council to discuss its proposal to use a portion of the already collected half-cent sales tax for improvement to roads and other blight in Pueblo. The tax, popularly known as the Petco tax, began in 1985 and has collected over $40 million, and City Council wanted to ask voters to approve the use of a portion of it for infrastructure repairs. Councilmember Amy Naraki reminded those in attendance that the tax was originally created to lure primary job creators to Pueblo and explain the somewhat vague term.
Primary job means a full-time position in private sector employment by manufacturing, business, commercial, or service industries, producing, assembling, or distributing products, or providing services primarily or ultimately for sale, consumption, or use outside of the city and county.
City Council member Chris Kaufman opened the town hall by introducing the view held by the majority of council that investing in these improvements is not unlike when CSU Pueblo invested over $100 million, much of it in athletics, to attract new students.
Consider the athletic department. You might even consider them to be the Petco of CSU Pueblo. They're a recruiting arm. One of the recruiting arms that CSU has. They need, in our recruiting, top prospects to their campus. Why? In order to achieve this, they must have top facilities in place. And so to further compete, they created a state-of-the-art football facility.
However, many in attendance were unhappy with the plan, citing what they saw was the success of Pueblo's Economic Development Corporation, or failing that, reminding council that the tax was originally set up for economic development and it should continue to be used for that purpose.
That money was put aside for Petco, which was voted in by the voters. We do not rob Peter to pay Paul.
The jewel of the half-cent sales tax is this. We as a community said enough. Let's make an effort to create the environment for businesses to move here with primary jobs so that our greatest resource, our children, would not have to leave Pueblo in order to make a living elsewhere. For those of us who remember when we voted the half-cent sales tax into effect, whether we agreed with the tax or not, we all understood the days of graduating and working at the CF9, Rockwool, Alpha Beta were over. We needed another source of primary employment. To squander this fund on the type of things brought forth by our current city council is extremely short-sighted.
And having spent 24 years on the city council, this group does not go down as one of the councils who made a stupid idea become reality. You need money for streets, parks, whatever, for aesthetic improvements. Talk to the people and tell them. And say, okay, we're going to have a half-cent sales tax for 5 years to cover these projects, and then go for it.
But I would like to task you to give us the information, not this varnished version that you get from the Chieftain and from the Petco allies. It's too important. You need to give us the actual facts, the cost per job, the contract, whether they were followed, all of these things, and then just give the published, the unvarnished information so they can make a legitimate and go to vote on this.
City Council members closed the 90-minute town hall with comments, including Councilmember Chris Nickel, who was the original whistleblower on council who opened the media's eyes to backdoor meetings being held by council about the topic of asking voters to approve funds or improvements.
You know, it's baffling to me that we're having this discussion. We have an unemployment rate between 9 and 11%, somewhere in there. We should be focusing on jobs, and this council needs to be working together to bring jobs to this community. I don't discount projects that are on those boards back there. I agree they are important issues. But this is just not the right way to deal with it.